Hi, everyone. Thank you for being patient. Thank you for so many kind comments and thoughtfulness and well wishes and prayers, and it was all well received, and thank you so much. Yeah, I was not feeling good at all, at all. And so I needed to do some definite self care. So thank you. Um, So, I am not going to do the intro spiel about the channel. If you know who I am, great. If you don't, hang out. Maybe we'll jibe. Maybe we won't. You find another channel. That's great too. Um, Life is very short, so it doesn't behoove anybody to try to. I feel like there's imposter syndrome going on, and that's the message I'm getting from spirit when I ask for the vibe and it's not so much for the collective. It's not for you guys, but I feel like there are some who would not necessarily consider themselves part of the collective watching because they don't want other people to know they're watching. So the message is for that group, which is separate from all of you who are just like, you know, part of the tribe, part of the group here. Um, and we all know kind of people like that in our lives, and it's sad because they don't feel comfortable enough being who they are in their own skin. So I feel like I know this is rambling, but welcome. I'm back. Um, so I feel like there is a message from Spirit for that. It's a very small fringe group who's watching. It's okay to be you. It is okay to feel what you're feeling. Um, you don't have to try so hard to be something you're not. Embrace who you are. It doesn't matter how much money you have or don't have. It doesn't matter if you are, you know, it doesn't matter. Everyone has a soul that has there's only been twice, maybe three, about three times, actually about three times, maybe. Yeah, about three times in all of the decades I've been doing crossing work or death. I like to call it death walking work. People in shamanic groups will call it psychopump work, but it's stuff I never really talked about and never really openly or publicly did for a very long time. But it's something I've always done even when I was a little kid. And I think there are a lot of people who are called into that work and that type of mediumship. The rest of it, it was like I had to learn how to stand up in front of a group of people and pull messages. And, those are things you learn going along. But the core of who you are, anyway, I'm digressing. So in all the years that I've been the way I am, my whole life, there have only been three times that I've witnessed someone that either was so corrupted that their soul became almost non-existent, or it was non-existent, and Archangel Michael or Michael had to take one in particular to be reabsorbed. I've only seen that happen once. The other one was a living person, and that was a scary individual. That was years and years ago. I have no idea what happened to that person. But for the most part, it doesn't matter what you've done or who you are or the messages you've received growing up or as an adult. You have a perfect soul. So if you don't hear anything else previous to this or after this or from any other channel or any other person in your life, understand that you have a perfect soul. Tap into that. Tap into that sense of how you would like to be treated. And, are you doing things from spitefulness, vengefulness, insecurity? Where is the misbehavior coming from? Okay, so again, that's not for the main collective. That's for just a little small fringe group over there. All right, for the collective, it is okay to set boundaries. It is okay to protect yourself. It is okay for you to say, I reject that. Not my lesson. You've done the work. You are not being selfish, and you are not giving up on people if you pull back like I had to do and just start physically healing. Sometimes the mind, body, spirit connection, not sometimes, all the time, it's a real thing. It's a real thing. Okay. So, oh, my mug. Hey. Faith, hope, and love. And of course, it's opalescent, which makes it better. Those three words are basically going to be a mantra for a long time to come. Faith, hope, and love. So, what is motivating one's actions? And I always like to ask the all that is, creator of all things, Mother, Father, God, to come in and guide. I give permission to, well, only for God to intervene in my life in all ways and all times. And, guide all my words, thoughts, and actions. Try just to be a good person and understand that there are a lot of people who are very wounded, who are not behaving well, and you don't have to save them because it's up to them to learn the lessons. That is some tough love 101. When people are ready and willing to change, then absolutely. But if they're not willing to change, if they're still engaging in self-destructive habits with absolutely no desire to change it, more than likely they're going to tear you down too. All right. Well, let's try to move on to a happier message. Okay, let's get into some cards because that's been a long time. What is that? Almost 7 minutes now. Kind of dealing with that. I had no idea. I just asked, guide me to know what the energy is, because I really didn't even know. Before, I just knew it was time. It was time. It was time to do a video. All right, so let's pull some cards. Okay, this is the right one. Queen of the Sun Oracle. These are so pretty and so cool. I'm going to go ahead and put my glasses on now because I know I'm going to need them. All right, now. Ask for healing, ask for hope, for all in the collective, for all everywhere. Ask for healing, hope, to understand when it's time to set a boundary and when it's time to receive and when it's time to give. You hear little sounds, that's Hazel. Hazelette, she's still in. Well, she's leaving now. I guess she's had enough. Okay. All right. In competition, I'm also hearing I need to give a message about competition. There is no competition. Okay, this one on top. Wealth. Wealth comes in many forms. That's going to be the basis of this reading, it appears. Okay, wealth comes in many forms, but we'll get to that in a minute. So competition. Sometimes people say competition is healthy. It makes you want to strive. I have found that the only type of healthy competition is when I am in competition with myself. To push myself to go a little harder, to work a little longer, to learn a little more. I am only in competition with myself. Next card, fertility. Competition with others. And I'm not a big fan of participation awards. I'm fully Gen X. We didn't do that. We didn't get that. What the heck? But we weren't in but I don't believe in being in competition with the others. If I am working for or toward something, I'm in competition with myself to see if I can achieve it and do it. If I can't, I don't want that trophy. I'll just work harder next time because I'm not in competition with anyone else, and good for them. I applaud the people who do win. But I will be in competition with myself to see if I can do better. And if that's the best I can do, then I know in my heart I won because I did what I could do. And I did it to the best of my ability. So competition is a tricky word. I feel like it's okay to be in competition with yourself because it pushes you a little bit, but not with each other. The thing I love most is when you see, like, especially in the relay races or in the long marathons, and you see clips or, I know this is a weird one. Sorry, guys. But you see someone who's running and they are running for first. Okay, they want to, they're in competition with the clock because they're trying to get the best possible time. But then they notice someone beside them who is so either fatigued or dehydrated, and they get confused and they stop being in competition with the clock or with their fellow human because they realize this is a person in distress. What do I want to live with? And they take that person and they guide them and help them. Or they pick them up. I've even seen clips where someone winning, or they weren't winning, the other person was, but they collapsed. They pick them up and carry them over the finish line. That is just such a wonderful thing. I mean, in the end, what you take across to the other side is your humanity and how you treated people, not the trophy. Participation or first place, second or third. You take your humanity. This one? I just heard take this one. Okay. Beginnings is the next card. How many cards do I need to get? I need 5. All right. Thank you, Spirit. Well, this one just landed straight in my lap. Doing it? No. That just landed in my lap. Okay. Never mind. That's not one of them. Okay. This one. Having me do this in an odd way. Weaving. 1, 2, 3, 4. And there's the last one that we need. All right. What is the last card? And then I need you to help me read them, please. Okay. We had this one, I think, the last time I was here. Action. Okay, so we have wealth, fertility, beginnings, weaving, and action. They want me to look at the numbers. Card 28, or cards 28, 18, 13, 22, and 2. Huh. The number 22 and 2 in different variations, that's been coming up a lot lately for me too. I don't know about you guys. But I know in these readings, and this is a reading for the collective, and I ask for that before I start. Okay, so what this tells me, move my little microphone. Okay, let me show you these cards again. Wealth, and it looks like there is a portal behind the woman and her horse. Fertility. Beginnings. Weaving, and again, another circle. Portals, and the ship's wheel, and then action. Okay. I'm not going to read these at face value because Spirit is so close. What do you want the collective to know about these cards? What is the message you have for us? A new cycle is beginning. We are closing out the old cycle. A new cycle is beginning. You are steering out of troubled waters. You are steering away from the old. You are moving forward with new beginnings and with action. Someone is birthing a new way of life or a new project or a coming into an awareness of where you are in your current life. And I'm hearing that changes can be subtle. Changes don't have to be picking up and moving across the country. Changes don't have to be a complete breakdown of the old to create the new. And this wealth card, it could be financial abundance. But I think for the majority, it means wealth of knowledge, wealth of understanding, wealth of spirituality, wealth of power, your own personal power, not power over anyone else, not power over anything, but a personal awareness of your strength. Your spirit is almost going to feel like it's too large to be contained in a human form. That is why you are pushing out and into action an idea that has been germinating, an idea that has been waiting to be born and to come into fruition. For someone out there or a group of you, something that has been building and building, you're no longer going to be afraid of it. You are no longer going to be afraid of a new beginning. You are no longer going to be afraid of weaving your future. Creating the life you want. And again, it goes back to this notion of wealth and prosperity. It's what you consider wealth and prosperity in your own personal life. It is a personal sense of identity. That word is important, identity. Someone is coming into, or a group of you are coming into an awareness of who you are at the core, what you will stand for, what you will not stand for. You are stepping into your truth, and you are stepping into your power. And possibly for the first time in a very long time, you're not afraid to plant your feet, put your hands down firmly and say, this is who I am, and this is what I do, and this is what I believe, or this is what's happening. No one is going to control the outcome but you. No one is going to control your sense of wellness but you. And you are leaning into your real sense of self-worth and identity. Wow. That's a nice cycle change. That's a nice place to be. That's a great place to be. This deck. All right, this is a Sandra Ann Taylor deck, Energy and Spirit Oracle. We need to piggyback on that. What is another message for the collective, please? Yeah, leave the fear behind. You are unreachable. You are untouchable. No one can take your energy. No one can take your wellness. One more time. I feel like some people got a big wake-up call, not in the collective, but the group that's been draining the collective. If you feel like you've been drained, if you feel like you are struggling, much like I was, there's a reason for that. And you don't have to do anything but shine. You don't have to do anything but be who you are. And make sure, call your energy back. And there is a video, I put it, it's still the very first working link in the community comment section of the homepage. Okay, let's see what we have here. Of course this is it. Of course this is it. All right, card 32. Kinship. Okay. Community, your group. Even though I talked about competition and being in competition with yourself, not others. When you have like-minded people, like so many in this group, so many, when you start supporting each other, and it doesn't matter if I need to rest and heal or if something's going on in my life and I'm gone for a couple of days, you guys still reach out. You can find each other. I don't care if you have a thread 5 pages long based on each other's comments. You take care of each other because that's what you do. Well, you're not taking care of each other, you're taking care of yourselves, but you're supporting each other and say, hey, you can do it, or I hear you. Sometimes we just need to know that people hear us, see us for who we are. Community. If you do not have a community where you live, put that out there and give it to Spirit and say, I'm ready. And maybe it's time for you to even create your own. I've mentioned that before. Yeah. When we are stable and settled within ourselves, that's when we can successfully be part of a community without it succumbing to the negative vibes and jealousy and competitiveness among each other. I mean, you can't do that. If that happens, it's going to fall apart. When we hold each other up, it doesn't matter the background. It doesn't matter how much or little you feel like you've accomplished or that you have. When people truly and firmly, emotionally, psychically, spiritually support each other, it's like that chain with all the links being strong. If that one weak link who's like, well, why are you doing this and I'm doing that, or the foundation of a house, or the 4 columns holding up, whatever it is. If you're missing one of those columns, it's going to start to sink or collapse. In your community, well, let me rephrase that, because I just, Spirit kind of pulled me back for a minute. So I'm asking for help. If there is any competition or jealousy coming from within you, then figure out why, because that means there's a lack or a sense of lack inside of you that you don't have to carry. Every single person is special and important. Hear that again. Every single person is special and important. When each individual understands that, communities will thrive. When there is an attempt to create division, usually that's so one person or a group will prosper. And that's just not healthy. All right. I don't know where that's coming from or what's going on, but man. And I really did not intend for this message to be this intense today. I thought it was going to be more cards and just kind of easing back in. But boy, I guess they've had a lot to say. Spirit's had a lot to say. Or someone is going through it, or someone is getting ready to make a decision. There we go. Someone may be getting ready to make a decision that could hurt people. And that is not okay. To intentionally hurt people, to intentionally try to derail someone else's wellness, oh no, there will be a backlash for that. Make no mistake about it. What do we need to know about that? I'm using the Thelema Lenormand. So, Spirit, what do we need to know about that? Where is it coming from? Where is it coming from? Okay. Woo! Just went a line out of there. Okay. This deck builds the story. So it's going to be kind of that eating away at you. Someone is going to get too far in their head. It's going to nibble away, eat away at self-esteem. It could corrupt the entire just warehouse of food for the winter. So disease-carrying little things. And I'm not saying all rodents are bad. No, I mean, that's not what I'm saying. But I'm looking at the card, and this is what it means. So it may be something that is, oh, I get it. Thank you. I'm hearing it's an undermine. Someone or a group is trying to undermine another group or person. This could be personal. This could be, they're not giving me a direction. They're just telling me that with this card, it's that chipping away. It's chipping away, just like someone can chip away at your self-esteem or a group. It's kind of the way bullying works. Now, what else do we need to know? What is the advice? What I'm hearing is be aware. Retaliation and lashing out is not the answer. It will come into the light of day. Meditate. Go into a prayerful state, but do not let dogma people may try to use religion against you in some way. However, the way I'm reading it this time is that this will be shown for what it is and for its negativity. What I'm hearing is remain in a prayerful state about it. Remain in a prayerful state. Okay, let's see what we got there. A whole bunch of them just flew out. Remain in a prayerful state. Yeah. Perfect. This is perfect. Okay. So someone or a group may try to undermine through negative and basically just trying to destroy someone's self-esteem and self-worth. So this is an undermining. I just keep hearing that word. So that's how it's going to happen, whatever this is. Stay in a prayerful state. Don't let them shake you. Stand firm. Stand firm. And I know this card can have a lot of different meanings. In this instance, on the heels of that card, it's stand firm in what you believe. There may be a new approach employed, something slick, a little bit. They may try to convince you that they're a friend after all or on your side. Don't buy it. They may even try to shower you with a gift of some kind. But and what I'm hearing and what I'm seeing, it's sort of like the difference between a hothouse flower that you send as a bouquet to a funeral, where it doesn't even smell like a flower. And it has, other than the visual, it doesn't smell like a flower. It smells like a freezer. That is how you will know the difference. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't smell right. It doesn't bring you joy. It is the small imperfections in things that remind us that they're real. The inclusion in a stone. No, it may not be perfect, but it lets you know it's real. The smell of a rose that's growing on a bush. Although some varieties now are so hybridized, they don't even have a scent because they just want a lot of flowers. The smell of the rain when it hits the ground. Remember, I'm hearing the word authenticity. When you go out into a yard that hasn't been sprayed or napalmed, basically, and you harvest things, whether it's from a vine on a fence or clover, it smells real. And it may have those little imperfections in them, but they bring you joy because you can smell it, and it's like aromatherapy that lifts your mood. So they may get slick, but are they offering you anything real? Probably not. Stand firm. It will end, and it will end quickly. It will end very quickly. Something, what is that phrase? And I'm looking at this, and of course I'm hearing it. It's separating the wheat from the chaff or chaff. I don't know what it is. I'm not a farmer. This is a scythe or a sickle. It will expose. It will end and cut down anything that is disingenuous that is coming toward you. And we end, imagine that on card 2, with clover. And I just mentioned clover, didn't I? This is a different type of clover. It's red clover. Oh, and it's so fragrant. And you can actually make tea out of the blossoms. You want to make sure it's not grown, it doesn't grow anywhere where there's like pesticides used or anything. But this is a beautiful plant. And it's healing. It has a lot of medicinal purposes too. This is the true gift. Authenticity. So if you feel like someone has been lying to you, and that's the message I'm getting, if you feel like someone or a group has been lying to you or taking advantage, it won't last for long. They may switch tactics. They may switch methods of trying to ingratiate themselves and fool you. It won't work as long as you stand firm. Be aware and know the difference. And I'm going to use this example because this is what I'm getting again, because we all know this example. The difference between the hothouse flowers, or we'll call them the funereal flowers. And we all love seeing flowers at a funeral because it's a show of someone's hope of peace for you. And I understand that, but that's not my point. I mean, it's sort of like, it's like looking at a fake flower that's made out of plastic as opposed to the real thing. So inauthenticity versus authenticity. As long as you keep your peace, not talk, but I mean like holding a sense of peace within, stand firm in what you believe. When it is no fun or productive to lie to you any longer, people or groups will move on because they will be exposed they will be exposed the way the scythe can cut down anything very quickly. It is an ending. And then once all of that is cleared away, that's when the beautiful clover will grow. And the real gift of, I'm hearing, the bounty of nature will be seen. Well, I hope this makes sense. I hope it resonates. Again, I want to thank everyone. I want to thank you so much for being you. I want to thank you for being patient with me. I want to thank you for wishing me well and checking on me. As I got better and I thought, okay, I'm going to try to, it's like I managed to respond to some things yesterday. And I was like, I think that's as good as it's getting. And then, yeah, but I do appreciate it so much. So, and I am so happy and proud to know all of you. Thank you. And even though I don't know everyone but you know what I mean. It's, this is a good place to be. Thank you. All right. So take care, and I guess we'll be back for a Tuesday video. Enjoy the first of your week. Be well, everyone. Take care. God bless.